Okay, let's have a look at the answers to these puzzles. First, let's tackle the easy one. White to play and mate in 1. Let's light up the possible escape squares for the black king. Are any of these squares safe for the black king? The white pawn on b5 attacks c6, and the white pawn on c5 attacks d6, and the bishop has 2 of the other 3 squares covered. e7 is the only safe square. The problem is, none of the other white pieces can give check, but there are 2 white pieces that can give check. Can you spot them? This bishop can give check on e6 or e8, but these squares are not defended by any other white piece, so the black king would take the white bishop, which leaves only one possibility. Can you spot it? The pawn gives check, the light squared bishop covers e6 and e8, and the dark squared bishop, which was hiding behind the pawn, covers the other squares. It's checkmate. Well done if you worked that one out. Okay, you know what we need to do. White to play and mate in 2. Let's find out where the black king can move. There are 2 squares to check. The long-range bishop attacks d7, but e7 is safe. So can we give check along this diagonal? We can give check with the queen. Is this checkmate? Let's see. Well, it's definitely check, but the checkmate alarm didn't go off, because black can block check with either the queen or the rook, and attack the white king at the same time. This plan doesn't work. Let's go back and try again. So giving check along this diagonal doesn't work. How else can we check the black king and cover the e7 escape square? If only it were safe to move the knight here, but the black queen has this attack covered. Can we get the black queen to shift? What about giving up our queen? Can you think 1.5 moves ahead to work out what happens? Pause the video now if you want to have a go. Whenever you are in check, you have 3 possible escape plans. Usually the best plan is to take the enemy piece that is giving check. But we know what will happen if black takes the queen. That was white's plan. The black queen isn't defending c6 anymore. So let's go back and see if there are any other ways black can get out of check. Another way to escape check is to block check. Can black move a piece onto one of these squares? The bishop is pinned by the white rook, so it can't move to block check. Black can block check with the queen. But think about it. Whenever you block check with a piece, that piece is automatically pinned. So white can still give checkmate with the knight. Blocking check with the queen doesn't work. Let's go back. Black could block check with the rook, but white has 2 attackers. So that doesn't work for black either. Well, taking the queen doesn't work, blocking check doesn't work, and so black is left with plan number 3. Find a square that is safe for the king to move to. But this doesn't work either. Can you spot the winning move for white? Well done if you spotted this move. The white queen and rook defend each other. The queen covers most of the other squares, and the bishop finishes the job. Wow, that was quite tough. A big gold star if you worked that one out. Let's move on to the hard puzzle. Black to play and mate in 4. Let's look at the white king. Has black got any of these squares covered? The knight attacks h2, so only h1 is safe. Let's look for checks. The only black piece that can give check is the knight on d4. There are two choices, but the white bishop defends f3, so e2 looks to be the better option. Let's see what happens. White has to move the king into the corner. OK, the king is trapped in the corner, but now what? We'd like to get the queen and bishop involved, but they are blocked by pawns. You need to be able to think ahead. Try a few ideas in your mind. Have a picture in your head of what the position will look like. Well done if you thought of this move. Black threatens checkmate on the next move. There is only one way for white to stop this threat. But you don't need your queen if you can win the game. The two knights force the king to h2, and now the bishop will complete the job.